Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on something a little bit different, my personal process for preparing for a photo shoot. Whether it's a brand refresh, new headshots, or capturing content for my business, getting ready to step in front of the camera is more than just picking out an outfit. It's about feeling more confident, aligned, and ready to show up as my best self. In this episode, I'll be sharing my go-to tips and rituals to help you feel just as prepared the next time you step in front of the lens. Welcome to Herself, a space for women to have deep conversations about the intersection between spiritual entrepreneurship and fulfilling your potential, so you can become the woman you truly are in every area of your life. After being in business for over 2 decades, I've learned, as you likely have too, that as you grow your business grows you in unexpected, often challenging, yet miraculous ways. Here, we'll talk about how to get out of your own way so you can grow a business that's abundant and sustainable while allowing you to be a force for good in the world. I'll give you simple, actionable strategies as well as wisdom and inspiration to help you root into your wholeness, lead from your values, and work in ways that feel deeply aligned so you can bring your true self into the world through your business and in every area of your life. Tomorrow, I am doing a new photo shoot, and first I have to say that I don't really like doing photo shoots. They're a lot of work. They feel like a lot of pressure. And once I'm in the swing of it and actually doing it, I do end up enjoying it. I also enjoy the fruits of the process, having a whole slew of new pictures to draw from as I'm putting my work out into the world over the coming year. So the benefits are definitely worth it. And I did some modeling in college, and so I got some experience with doing photo shoots. So I feel like just that history of mine somehow prepared me for this part of my career now. And I want to talk you through the entire process of how I prepare for a day like tomorrow. First, I want to emphasize it is really important to have current pictures of you, to have professional pictures of you in general, especially if you're a personal brand, especially if you're a service provider. And even if you don't have a personal brand, customers can relate to you better if they can see your face and get to know your personality through the images and even the videos that you share. So photo shoots are very, very important for building that know, like, and trust factor with the people that you serve. I don't have a set schedule for doing photo shoots. Sometimes it's every other year. Sometimes it's every year. I definitely wouldn't recommend going any longer than 3 or 4 years because how you look changes a lot in that time. Where I am in my business right now, doing something every 1 or 2 years feels like the right rhythm. And last fall, I did a massive photo shoot. I got hundreds and hundreds of pictures. I shot in 4 different locations, and I think I had close to a dozen, maybe a little bit more outfit changes. So it was a really big undertaking. It was a lot. But I was so glad that I did it because then I had a bunch of pictures that I could use throughout this past year, including pictures for my book launch. Now, normally I wouldn't do another photo shoot so soon after a big one like that, but I feel like it's necessary for me to do one again this year because since then I developed the Sorceress brand. And last spring I got the download to rebrand my 12-month mentorship and mastermind circle into Sorceress CEO and to change my 6-month IFS and women's spiritual leadership immersion into Sorceress School. And also to change my in-person retreats into Sorceress Retreats. So stay tuned for more information about the first Sorceress Retreat. Registration is going to open in 2025. So I'm excited about that. And as we've been marketing these programs this past spring, summer, and fall, I haven't felt like I had the right photos to go along with them. So I was just kind of making do. And I mean, how do you represent a sorceress, right? That's what this new photo shoot aims to do. So you'll have to let me know what you think once I start to roll out these photos, probably in early 2025. So this is the first thing that I do. I decide on the theme or the intention for the photo shoot. This year, it's to get some pictures of me with my new book, because I don't have any of those yet. And it's also to get a lot of pictures that I can use for my various Sorceress programs in 2025 and hopefully maybe the year after that. So once I get clear on that, on the theme and the intention, I pick a date and I make sure to book with my photographer. I'm a planner and my schedule books up pretty far in advance. So I usually do this 3 to 4 months in advance to make sure it fits in my schedule and also that I can book all the contractors that I need. Now, normally I like to do a photo shoot on, say, a Thursday or a Friday, so I can have some buffer time afterward because I get pretty tired out by a photo shoot. So I normally work a 4-day work week, Monday through Thursday. So if I can shoot on, say, a Thursday, that's great. And then I have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. If my photographer can't do Thursday for some reason, or if my schedule is too full, then maybe I'll choose Friday. This year, I'm breaking my own rules, which needs to happen sometimes, and I'm doing the photo shoot on a Monday. Now, obviously, this wasn't my first choice, but it's the only thing that I can make work between my photographer's schedule and my schedule. And we're shooting in the morning until early afternoon because we want to get the right light. So then I'll have the rest of the afternoon as my kind of mini buffer before stepping back into the air quotes office on Tuesday. So once I have my photographer in place, I schedule my hair and makeup. Now, I recommend always getting your hair and makeup done. This is a worthwhile investment. It makes you look much more polished and professional. Now, I'll say I do not wear a ton of makeup, so I like to have a more natural look, but I also know there needs to be enough makeup on, more makeup than you think, to even out your skin tone for the camera, to help your eyes pop on the camera. So it's really, really worth hiring someone to help you do this. But you don't want to look radically different than you normally look in your day-to-day life, unless you're doing a particular kind of glamour shot. So again, aim for something that's more on the natural side. Now, I like to have someone who does both hair and makeup come to my house, and this helps my nervous system so I don't need to do even more running around at the start of a day that's already going to have a lot of running around. So when that happens, then I just wake up, I wash my hair, and then the stylist comes over, she dries my hair, she styles my hair, and then she does my makeup, and then I can go off to the photo shoot. Now, I have done some shoots where the makeup and hair artist has stayed on set with me throughout the day to do touch-ups and to also change my look once or twice, change my look with hair and makeup. I don't do that anymore because I just like to keep things simpler. It's not to say I won't do that in the future. It's just not something that I want to do now. But when I've been on more of a budget, then I will go out and get my hair and makeup done at different places. So dry bar is a good spot to get a blowout if you are in an area that has a dry bar. Also, if you go and your hair is already dry, then they can just style it rather than washing it, drying it, and styling it. And then that can be a more affordable option. Your usual hairstylist can also do it. You can also time it with a cut so that you can just have them give you a blowout after your cut, and that can help to make it more affordable. For makeup options, I know here in Boulder, there's a local kind of makeup bar where I've gone in the past. I know people who've also gone to like Sephora or the Mac store and just had a sample of someone put on makeup for them for free, and they use that. So those are all possible budget options. And of course, if you're really good at hair and makeup, go for it. I'm just not. I'm not that good. So once you have the photographer and your hair and makeup booked, you want to determine your location and also your time of day. You want to consider the best light. Do you want morning light? Do you want kind of that full afternoon light? If you are going to be outside, do you want kind of that golden hour light? So choose the time of day, choose the location. For my photo shoot, tomorrow I booked a studio in Denver because I had a particular vision for the backdrop for this Sorceress photo shoot. Now, you might want to have someone come to your home. You might want to go to a park or a place in nature or something more urban if you want to be out in a city on the street or at a cafe or something like this. I've also rented space at a co-working office to kind of have different kind of professional backdrops. And I know you can also rent out a home for a day or for half a day. And I've also done a combination of all of these. So once you choose your location or locations, then you'll want to start to gather your outfits. And again, with the location, with the time of day, with the outfits, we want to be returning back to what is my intention, what is my theme, and then that you can start to kind of get into more of the details of that. So with the clothing, these can be from your own closet. And what I often do is I rent outfits from a place like Rent the Runway. So you can wear a variety of different things, and then you can be really intentional about pulling different looks and pieces together. I've also borrowed things from friends when I've wanted to branch out beyond just my own wardrobe. And you could certainly hire a stylist for this. For me, I really enjoy this part of the styling process, so it's something that I like to do for myself. Next, you want to start looking online for ideas for shots in anticipation of putting together your shot list. So you can look at websites of other brands and influences that you admire and take screenshots of photos, especially noting different props and body, head, hand positions that you like. And you can save those screenshots in a folder on your desktop, or you can create a Pinterest board to gather all of them. So that on the day of your photo shoot, you can refer to this for ideas of different poses to strike. So what I'll often do is say I'll have my iPad with me and I'll have my folder with the different shots. And so as I'm kind of moving through different poses and stuff, if I get stuck and it's like, oh, I want another idea, I'll just take a look at that folder and I'll remember kind of a few different things and I'll go back in front of the camera and do those things. So next you'll want to gather a list of the different props that you'll use. So for example, for my photo shoot tomorrow, some of the props that I'm using are my laptop, my phone, my iPad, my 3 books, especially my new book, a chair, my journal and a pen, flowers, my podcast mic, and my glasses. And sometimes I'll do photos with my dog Sadie, but sadly no dogs are allowed in the studio tomorrow. Sometimes I'll have my yoga mat or maybe some items from my altar, like a candle. Sometimes I'll have a mug. So think about what are the props that best express your personality, your brand, the things that make you and the work that you do unique, that really help people to get to know you. And once you have your outfits and your props, then you'll put together a rough timeline and your shot list. So like decorating a room where maybe you'll have different areas of the room where you have different moments of experiences in the room. Same for the photo shoot. You want to have different moments that best express you and your work. So some may be full body shots, some may be head shots, some action shots. I recommend throughout having your photographer shoot horizontally. So there's always some white space on one side of you. And this gives you the most flexibility to use the photos for marketing either on your website or on social media, or if you have a graphic designer or use Canva just to make some graphics, then you have room to add text more easily. You could also consider having someone, whether it's a friend or a contractor that you hire, come to shoot some video on their phone. Now you want to make sure that if they have an iPhone, you want to have a newer model of that so they have a high quality camera on the phone. And then they'll casually shoot video of you in the photo shoot, keeping the photographer ideally out of sight. And you can use those videos for B-roll to make reels on Instagram. So for those, you'll want those recorded vertically since they're going to be used on mobile. And then you'll also want some shot horizontally that you could potentially use at, say, the top of a web page to show you in action. And that also reminds me, for some photo shoots in the past, I've also invited other people to join me to simulate more of a group experience, whether that's you leading a class or a workshop or working with clients. And that could be a piece that you might want to weave into a portion of your photo shoot. And normally, if I have a group coming in, I'll either do that kind of at the beginning or the end of the shoot. Then the day before the photo shoot, you'll want to get all of your outfits and props ready. If you are traveling like I'm doing tomorrow into Denver, I'll pile all the different shots together. So say that I'm wearing one outfit and with a certain pair of shoes and maybe certain props, I'll kind of pile all those together, and I'll do that kind of for each outfit change. Then I'll have my shot list on the notes on my phone so I can refer to those easily as I go. I know which outfit I'm wearing first and second and third and fourth and fifth, so I make sure to get all those in. I usually also bring a friend or an assistant to be an extra set of eyes on set, letting me know if I have lipstick on my teeth, which happens often, or if my hair is doing something strange, which also happens often, or if an article of clothing isn't sitting right. Yes, that also happens often. So I need someone who can kind of catch those. And so we don't get a whole slew of pictures taken, and then I realize later on, after it's all said and done, that I can't use a bunch of them. My fiance, Chris, has been joining these shoots for the past few years, so he's been that extra set of eyes. That's been really helpful. And it's also just good to have some moral support, to have some extra hands on deck to help you throughout the day. I will also plan out my meals in advance, and I make sure that I eat a full protein-rich breakfast that morning, so that way my appetite is really satiated, my blood sugar is really steady. I'll either plan a lunch break and pack a lunch, or I'll have some snacks on hand. But if I can't eat lunch until later, which will be the case tomorrow, I will make sure that I have some snacks. In this case, it's probably going to be some nuts, so something that is really satisfying and grounding, and plenty of water to drink as well, because I know that I tend to get dehydrated on photo shoot days because it just takes a lot of energy. So the bottom line is that you really want to have everything laid out and ready to go the night before so that the day of the shoot is as low stress as possible. Then you might want to consider getting a facial or doing an at-home mask or a facial steam over a pot of steaming water as a do-it-yourself version, something to support your skin if that is helpful for you. And then the morning of, I do some simple practices to connect me with my deepest self and my highest intention for the photo shoot. I usually don't have time to do a full morning practice the day of a photo shoot. Normally my morning practice is about 2 hours. And tomorrow morning when I go to this photo shoot, I think the hair and makeup person is coming over at like 7 a.m. So I'm not waking up. I'm not waking up super early. So that's another thing, is you also really want to make sure as much as possible to get a good night's sleep the night before. So then in terms of doing that kind of inner preparation that morning, for me, it's prayer that helps me to do that. And I do in my mind some energy clearing of the space where I'm going to do the shoot. I bless the people I'll be working with. I pray to clear any obstacles that day. I pray to bring my best and highest self, and for the photos that we create to be for the highest good of everyone that they reach. And then I just let it go and practice being fully present. Afterward, I like to do something to celebrate, even if it's just like going out for a meal. So maybe I'll go out for a late lunch after we wrap up in Denver, or maybe get takeout. When I come home, I put all my props and clothes away, return my outfits, pay my contractors, and wait for the photos to come back to choose the ones that I will use. During that process of choosing the photos that you'll use, it's helpful to give a lot of love and care to the critical parts of you who might have things to say about how you look. And I notice that as I get older, it gets more challenging because it's like, oh yeah, I can see that I am getting older. And so we want to give support to our inner selves who maybe will feel uncomfortable with certain pictures or maybe with the whole idea of you being seen in a bigger way. So we really want to slow down during that time and know that your inner selves might need some extra support from you. And you may also want to ask your trusted peers, colleagues, or mastermind members which photos of you that they like the best if you're having trouble choosing the right ones. And then you want to store them all in the cloud. So I have a big Dropbox folder for everything in my business. And one of the folders in there is from all of my photo shoots. And then I have a subfolder for each separate photo shoot that I do. So I'll have one for October 2024. I'll store all of those pictures in there. And then that way my team and I have easy access to them for all of our marketing needs in the year ahead, whether we're sharing those with graphic designers, web developers, Facebook ads, agencies, things like that. And then I breathe a sigh of relief that it's all done for now. But again, this is something that we want to do, that we need to do for our business on a regular basis. And as with everything, the more you do it, really and truly, it does get easier. And there you have it, my personal blueprint for prepping for a photo shoot. Whether you are getting ready for your first shoot or you're a seasoned pro, remember that the magic happens when you give yourself support to feel good on the inside, because it's not just how things look on the outside. So take the time to prepare, get in the right mindset, and trust that the camera will capture your true essence. Trusting also that you have everything in place to show up fully. Now go ahead and start planning your next photo shoot with more savvy and courage, and I can't wait to see you shine, my friend. Thank you for joining me today. And remember, change doesn't come from listening alone. I invite you to commit to taking one small or large courageous action after today's conversation. One step you can take, if you haven't already, is to sign up for my Sunday journal. It's a weekly newsletter filled with inspiration and reflections about the intersection between spiritual entrepreneurship and fulfilling your potential to help you become the woman you truly are in every area of your life. You can subscribe at programs-sarahavaughnstover.com/journal. And if you found this podcast valuable, please share it with the women in your world. Also, I'd be very grateful if you'd leave a review. It helps others find resources like this, and I'd love to hear what's coming alive for you after listening today. Above all, keep going, and never forget the unique offerings you and your true self bring to the world. Until next time, I'm sending you my heartfelt support.